Hello, I'm back for my 6-week bump date, which is super exciting. I have a lot to update you guys on. I'm gonna go through the same questions that I went through last time. So let's get started. First question is, how far along are you and when is your due date? My due date is still March 5th, 2022, and today I am 6 weeks and 6 days pregnant. Tomorrow I will be 7 weeks, but this bump date is about my 6 weeks and everything that goes along with it, which was a big exciting milestone, so glad I made it. Little Ellie is right here underneath the camera. My computer is over here on this side, so if you see me looking over here, I am checking on my answers of my questions. Next question is, how big is baby? Baby is the size of a Maine blueberry, which I'm not sure if Maine blueberries are different than other blueberries. The size of a honeybee, or the size of a jelly bean, which is what we've been referring to the baby as, is a jelly bean. It is 0.5 inches long, very tiny, and weighs 0.02 ounces. So still incredibly small. In the weight gain category, I still have not gained any weight. I've actually lost weight, which we'll get to that in a little bit because my doctor brought it up when I went. I've lost 2 more pounds in addition to the 12 pounds that I already lost prior to getting pregnant. And that has to do a lot with having no appetite at all. So we'll get into that. I don't have any big must-have items this week, but I have been eating the toasted wheat crackers. I'm still trying to do my low glycemic diet, which is hard when you don't really want to eat anything, but the wheat crackers seem to have helped with some of the nausea sometimes. So I will link that in the description below if you're interested. They're pretty good. They're like toasted. They have kind of like a toasty scent to them. Thanks, Ellie. Very sweet. Thanks. All right, let's get into symptoms. So symptoms this week, my breasts have had this heavy feeling, but mostly when I get out of bed in the morning. So when I first stand up out of bed, they feel really heavy and full, gravity's really pulling on them. Sometimes they don't really hurt, but they feel like a really deep soreness, kind of when you have a sore muscle and it feels sore deep inside of there. That's how the breast pain feels. It doesn't really hurt to touch. It doesn't really hurt to lay on. I can still sleep on my stomach. It just feels like a deep soreness occasionally. So that's weird because usually I hear a lot of people talk about really sore breasts, and I'm not having that issue. Definitely having a lack of appetite, and then when I finally do feel hungry, I'll go to sit down and eat my food, and then I'm no longer hungry and don't want that anymore. So that's been really annoying. I'll make mac and cheese, and then when I go to sit down to finally eat my mac and cheese no longer sounds good. Definitely feeling nauseous on and off. Yesterday I felt nauseous for most of the afternoon and evening, which sucked because there wasn't really anything I could do about it. Definitely some constipation issues as well, which I think probably plays into the lack of appetite because there's just no room for anything. So I'm hoping that I can at least eat enough to take my medications because I'm still on 12 different medications. So I still need to be eating something, 1, because it's not good to not eat anything, and 2, I have to take all of my different medicines throughout the day. So trying to still eat at least my meals and have enough snacks to be able to eat or to be able to take my medication, but it's been definitely a challenge this week. And then a little bit of fatigue, mostly in the afternoon. I've been going to bed a little bit earlier. I used to go to bed around midnight, and now I'm getting into bed around 8 and then falling asleep around 10 or even 9. So definitely going to bed earlier, but the fatigue hasn't been too awful. Usually during the day I can still function all right. So hopefully that does not take up too much. Cravings and aversions. I've been craving fast food, salty foods, and fast food, specifically French fries have sounded really good, but then the food aversions come in, and as soon as I get French fries or I get fast food, then it does not sound good anymore and I don't want it. Yesterday we went to go get burgers and French fries because that sounded really good, and when the food finally came, I didn't want it and had a couple bites of my burger, maybe 3 French fries, and got it to go. I brought it home with me, but the server was asking if everything was okay, and my husband wrote this funny note on the receipt that was food was great, my wife is just prego, and then drew a little prego pasta sauce, which I thought was funny. But the cravings that I have had, I don't even want. So I'm definitely looking forward to the part in pregnancy where I actually have cravings that I want to eat. That'll be nice. Aversions, basically everything. I'm having a hard time finding stuff to eat that I want. And like I said, I have to eat because 1, you have to eat, and 2, I have to take all of my medication. So if anyone has any suggestions on light things to eat, let me know because I definitely need some. What I miss, I'm gonna go with feeling hungry. like actually wanting food. Usually I have a fairly good appetite and I get low blood sugar issues, so usually I eat pretty consistently and a fairly good amount. But now I miss just like wanting food, because it's weird not wanting food. I feel kind of like weak because I'm not getting a lot of nutrition into my body, which sucks. So excited for when the cravings kick in and I actually want food again. Challenges this week has probably been the increase in symptoms. I know last week I said that I wish my symptoms had come back, and they definitely have this week. It hasn't been consistently and it hasn't been all week, but definitely the nausea and the fatigue is kind of kicking in more. So that has been somewhat reassuring because I'm having symptoms, and also difficult because it's hard to do much when you feel nauseous. I also have had a really big issue with my metformin. I've been taking metformin for a couple months now for my PCOS, and before pregnancy it was fine. It didn't really cause any side effects, it wasn't bad. But since getting pregnant, it's been more difficult to take my metformin, and I'm really struggling with just taking it. Like, I'll gag when I try to take it. Just the smell of it makes me feel nauseous. Like, even now thinking about it makes me feel nauseous. So that's been a struggle. I brought it up with my doctor yesterday. We had a doctor's appointment, and she said I can actually take a break from having the metformin. So I'll get into that in a second. But she basically, she told me with the metformin that it's more important at this point to take my other 12 medications and actually get that into my system and be able to eat food so that I stop losing weight than it is to take the metformin. So I don't think this is a forever change. I think I will have to take it again once the nausea dies down, but I'm super thankful that for now she said I can take a little break, because it was ridiculously hard to take it, and some days I couldn't even take it because I just couldn't stomach it. So super thankful about that. A highlight of the week was our appointment yesterday. We got to see the baby's heartbeat, which was so cool. The heartbeat was like 140 to 150 beats per minute, which she said was strong and amazing and fantastic. She just kept saying things look perfect and it was exactly how it should look. So that was super reassuring. She measured everything and everything had grown from last time, which was great. I still have the 3 cysts on my right ovary, but the cysts have actually gone down a little bit in size, which is good. They're starting to go away on their own. And my ovary was 3 times larger than it should have been last week. This week it's only 2 times larger than it should have been. So improvement, which is good. Also, they confirmed that it's just 1 baby, no twins or anything like that. So my husband was very thankful to hear that. He was nervous about that. I also said because of the cysts that it's pushed my ovary or my uterus a little bit to the side. So instead of my uterus being in the middle, it's pushed a little bit to the left side because my right ovary is so swollen. So not really like a dangerous thing, but I thought that was interesting because when she was doing the internal ultrasound, she had to go way to the left to see my uterus because it wasn't where it was supposed to be. So thanks, tiny cysts. I'll put in a few pictures and videos that we were able to take at the ultrasound. It was super cool to see the little heart beating. We couldn't hear it yet because she said it would pick up my heartbeat instead of the baby's heartbeat, but we could see a little flickering, which was the baby's heartbeat, which was so cute. That really reassured me and made me feel good that the baby's heart is beating, and that's a great sign.
It's jelly bean. Looks good though. The yolk sacs up here. So we measure this. And that grew too. Yeah. So.
Is that the yolk sac?
No, that's the baby. So see, we grew.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little alien.
Last time the picture from the ultrasound was just like a little blob.
I know.
It's jelly bean.
Looks good though. The yolk sacs up here. So we measure this. And that grew too.
Yay.
So. Okay, it all grew. It all did what it was supposed to do.
Great.
It's too early to like measure the heartbeat, right?
Yeah, and it'll pick yours up, but it looks nice and fat. I mean, here, I'll cheat. There's a second hand up here. It's already like 140, 150.
Wow. Fast.
No, I'm cheating. I can't.
Looking up.
Yeah. I'm not just making it up. So yolk sacs right there. Looks great, you guys.
Yeah. Just one baby. You can.
Yeah,
You
just
can
one.
relax now.
So everyone can breathe, eh?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. first Addie body too. I can't believe it.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah. I thought this was like a trial, but no.
No. Baby was like, I got this. Thank you.
Looks like a little smile, like a sack.
So just be pretty cute. I mean, yeah. See how these are.
Yeah, look at those.
Yeah.
Those are misses.
Oh,
It looks
nice.
a little better.
Does it?
It looks like it's trying to
It's not cramping. as much.
collapse. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's a little
good.
dished in.
Yeah. Yeah, see, they're not
That's
as.
a lot.
I know. They don't look as big as last time.
Well, that's good.
I mean, ovary's still pretty good size. So usually it's 3 to 4 centimeters.
Use like, oh.
About 5.
Yeah.
So it's better.
Yeah. Not 3 times the size.
Yeah. And this side.
Back up.
Yeah.
It'll be.
Can see it.
Aw. He's got it.
You can see his little tail.
Mommy just called him. He said he had a tail. Just so you know, baby. This is beautiful.
It looks good.
Exactly what I want to see.
Yeah.
Taking this photos for you, okay?
Okay.
Looking forward to, I definitely would say planning all of the pregnancy things. That since seeing the heartbeat and getting that reassurance, it's made me feel more safe, I guess, to start planning some pregnancy things, which is really fun. I've started looking at some ideas for baby showers. I've started looking at some ideas for gender reveals and nurseries and baby names and all kinds of future things, which I'm really excited about. So when I'm sitting on the couch relaxing, feeling very tired, those are the kinds of things that I'll look up, which has been really fun. And I'm glad to continue to keep doing that and dreaming about the future. So that's super fun. Also, looking forward to feeling cravings and hungry again. I'm guessing that probably won't come for a few more weeks, but I can hope at least that this won't last too long. I'm gonna show you some of my bump. There's not really like much bump to see. I'm a little bit bloated still, but I actually feel less bloated than I did week 5 and week 4, which is strange, but it's everything checked out perfectly fine at the doctor. So I'm trying not to worry about anything because they said everything looked great and as it should. So let me show you what it looks like. All right, here it is. It's just my shirt down. Looks pretty normal. You don't really see too much. And here it is with this shirt up and just my tank top. Again, not really too much to see. A little bit bloated still, but not too bad. Then the tank top up. Not really anything to see yet, just a little bit bloated. Thanks so much for watching this week. Super excited to be at 6 weeks, and tomorrow I'll be 7 weeks. So stay tuned for my 7-week bump date next week. Bye.